Thank you so much, Director Witherell, Senator Padilla, and Dr. Benson for those inspiring remarks about the critical importance of what we're doing here today. I'm Noël Bakhtian, and I'm the Executive Director of the Berkeley Lab Energy Storage Center. As each of us knows all too well, we're facing a climate crisis, and we must rapidly accelerate our work to decarbonize our economy. We've taken this as the driving force of the summit. You're all here today because you know that energy storage is a critical linchpin to enable our nation's just transition to a clean, affordable, and resilient energy future. Exponential energy storage deployment is both expected and needed in the coming decades, and we see this realization rippling through the actions of the administration, Congress, the private sector, and the research community. The pace of announcements is just incredible. We've got the bipartisan infrastructure law allocating $6 billion for batteries, the Department of Energy's Earthshots, including the long-duration storage shot, and the recent creation of LIBridge, a public-private alliance related to the summit's theme that the industry associations and national labs are working on. And in the private sector, investors are funding energy storage companies at an unprecedented scale, at the same time that car companies and others are making game-changing announcements on their electrification targets. As you heard from Director Witherell, at Berkeley Lab, we're leveraging over 70 years of energy storage research and harnessing the extraordinary work of over 200 researchers from across the lab, not to mention our postdocs and students, to establish the Energy Storage Center. Our vision is to take Berkeley Lab's expertise, capabilities, and long history of innovative science to systems work to develop, scale, and shape the science and technology and policy needed to accelerate real-world energy storage solutions together with partners across the world. We're going to get there via two strategies. The first is to play a major role in building out our nation's domestic battery supply chain ecosystem, which not coincidentally is the theme of day two. And then second is to accelerate equitable national deployment across multiple sectors of energy storage of the appropriate type, be it electrochemical or thermal or chemical or mechanical storage. Each of these strategies will require focused attention on the cross-cutting themes of workforce and equity to ensure the creation of good-paying jobs for a talented workforce and to lift up all of our communities, especially those at the margins. But we can't do this alone. We've convened this summit in the hope of cross-fertilizing ideas across the enormous breadth of the energy storage ecosystem. We've invited researchers, policymakers, and leaders from the national labs, communities, government, and the private sector to catalyze partnerships and spur collaborations. We believe that convening and connecting all of you, the thought and action leaders in this space, will help lower barriers and transcend silos, build momentum, and accelerate the impact of our collective efforts. We'll look to emphasize bold but feasible solutions that are ready for deployment now and in the years to come. And we plan to build on the national blueprint for lithium batteries to create a bridge to a national roadmap by uncovering practical ways to advance towards our big picture objectives. Let me take a moment to describe how this will work. Today's conversations will be centered around the challenges and solutions of building out a robust domestic battery supply chain. Energy Secretary Granholm and GM's CEO Mary Barra will offer their unique perspective on this in the fireside chat coming up next. Then comes a series of panels flowing up the value chain where you're going to hear from renowned experts engaging on everything from the domestic lithium resource to materials processing to manufacturing and finally to scaling to next-gen battery gigafactories in the US. And you're going to get a chance to engage them during the Q&A. Then we're going to turn the mic over to you for our community brainstorming session. We've scheduled 4 concurrent conversations, each one mirroring topics from the panel series. Choose your panel and then lend your voice as your group explores potential milestones, partnerships, and pathways toward building a robust domestic battery production ecosystem. Your ideas are going to form the basis of a post-event report. That promises to be a pretty intense conversation, so we're going to give you a chance after to take a special recharge break before you come back for an out-of-this-world interview about energy storage in space. Our final distinguished panel will synthesize the day and sum up the next steps we need to take together to make this vision a reality in the United States. And to cap off the day, we've planned a special happy hour conversation to explore the nexus of energy justice and energy storage. This event will give you a chance to learn more about energy equity from our equity ambassadors and each other, and to build allies and partnerships with your fellow like-minded participants within a fun virtual platform. Now let's get a preview of tomorrow. It's your chance to geek out as we tackle the challenges of our day 2 theme, accelerating discovery to deployment of energy storage for decarbonization and resilience. We'll take a deeper dive into technology and policy and conversations with people to work to implement solutions on the ground. Day 2 is where we also get down to work to start building the partnerships we need to accelerate our work. We've intentionally embedded time on the agenda to facilitate connections between attendees in order to catalyze these new partnerships and solutions to accelerate our impact. It's not too late to set up a one-on-one meeting with other summit goers or join a roundtable on a topic of your choice in the collaboration cycles session tomorrow. And if you do, you'll have a chance to submit proposals to access our $20,000 collaboration seed fund after the event, thanks to the University of California. So that's the plan. And we don't see this as a one-off event, but consider this the next step of a national effort to leverage and speed the work already in progress by bringing the talents, expertise, and passions of all of you and a host of others to shape an active, diverse community from across the energy storage ecosystem. And speaking of all that talent, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the hard work of over 100 people across Berkeley Lab and many others across the DOE and national lab systems who have been working over the 9 months to make this summit a reality. They have done a tremendous job, and I'm so grateful to be part of this amazing team. It's an inspiring time to be in energy storage, and we have the talent and the momentum to create enormous change for the better. So we need to seize this moment with bold and imaginative actions that transcend our ideas about what's possible, because what's at stake is enormous. So let's share and learn, partner, and make a collective impact for our clean energy future. Enjoy the summit.